VLR.
Obamacare. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Stupid people are ruining America.
The president just wants to take care of you. He just doesn't think you're able to do it for yourself.
There's a very thin line between communism, progressivism, Marxism, socialism.
The empire will strike back.
You still don't know that this was political.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of America Our Way. I am your host, Dustin Hoyt. Hope you've all had a great week this week. Hope you've been keeping up with the news. There's been a lot of stuff going on here, and we're going to talk about it right here on VLR, the preeminent radio network to find conservative, libertarian ideas, entertainment, the latest updates on news, and quite frankly, the best personalities. Now, I think that probably the most interesting story in the country right now is Ferguson, Missouri. Ferguson has become a hotbed for different swaths of each political group. You've got some people coming out saying, support our boys in blue. You've got other people coming out and saying things as terrible as, look at the looting. Clearly this town deserves whatever they get. Clearly the response is warranted since there are looters there. And then you've got people who are saying this is just another example of racism and white supremacy in America oppressing the black man. And then you've also got people who say this just goes to show you how the media hypes up an issue and distorts it and ruins what should have been something manageable. And it seems as though the country has developed a collective magnetism, an attraction towards issues like this. And anytime you have an unarmed black teen killed, it's going to generate lots and lots and lots of static and rage within the African American community, and not necessarily unwarranted. I know many people think that, if black activists get involved or if the black community as a whole becomes enraged, then clearly there's nothing wrong here. Now, I have to say, I am not a fan of Jesse Jackson, of Al Sharpton, of Quanell X, and many of the black activists that are out and about in the country. And not because they're black, but because they're so blatantly trying to imitate the leaders that were effective in the past and trying to emulate everything they did, including the way they spoke and the way they referred to issues. And since there's a lack of originality and a lack of creative and critical thinking on the issues, they don't have any foundation. They don't have any credibility to their names. And this is why you get Al Sharpton holding the hand of anybody that makes news that happens to be of color and walking down the street as if they're going to go sit in the governor's mansion to try and get civil rights back on the table. And that's not the case in today's America. In today's America, the fight for civil rights, of access, of treatment, it is not the fight it used to be. And it is not the in-your-face, ugly creature brick wall that it once was, where all people of color had to scale this brick wall to become accepted or credible in society or in the workplace. Today, it is a misconception that is thrown in the faces of anyone who questions it that seems to be the chief problem encountered with civil rights activists today. That you cannot criticize people of color without encountering some sort of lascivious, outrageous accusations and criticisms. And unfortunately, there are real issues, strong issues that exist within every community, and particularly in the black community, that need to be addressed, and they need to be fought for, and they need to be fixed. And yet, we don't see black leaders standing up and taking the bull by the horns, trying to address these issues. And you could chalk that up to the lack of originality or creativity or thought in today's society. You could chalk it up to the fact that more and more people are simply lazy. They don't care as long as they are given their gratification. And that seems to be the case with what is going on in Ferguson. But I think the arguments, how people are getting there, need to be examined closer. Anytime somebody makes an argument or makes a statement, comes to a conclusion, or states a position, I don't care so much about the position as I do about how they got there. And I talk about this a lot on the show, but it's important that we all engage in this behavior of asking how we got that answer. How did you get that answer? Now, I know it kind of seems like you've got a math problem and you're asking someone to show their work. And I know probably more than a few people getting a laugh out of me saying that, but the fact of the matter is, when you look at the way people think, the reason they hold a position, the reason they do what they do, it is often incredibly more telling as to how they think, the philosophies they hold, the reasoning, the drive behind all of their actions, and what they think of other people. If you look at how they get there, the most glowing example is Ayn Rand's take, or I guess autobiographical conclusion on how she became a philosopher. And whether you like her or not, the conclusion is valid. The way that she got there is valid, and so I'll present it. She said that at a very early age, she began thinking in abstract ways about abstract things. And by that, she means she began to question not just her beliefs or the beliefs of others, but why she held those beliefs and why others believed them. And once you keep asking the question, why, like a child that keeps asking why, there is brilliance in that. To continue asking why all the way down to the root, the cause, the source, the place where the association connects. Whenever a person learns a word, not only do they learn the sounds